final round. So we're trying to shoot a -14 is what we're trying to shoot. And I need to pick up everything you can if you've got lower developed clubs. I'm in my 99 account, so I only have T4, few T5 clubs. And with this club collection, you've got to maximize it. Southern Pines. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's the right one. Hole number two. I'm trying to get a Southern Pines playlist together, so I'm shooting, since we've got all of the holes here, but we're not playing them in the same order that they're in. So we're on Southern Pines, hole number 6, hole number 2 of the 9-hole cup. And I am not messing around on this hole, because this is a hole that I think, one of the things about Southern Pine that's really cool is that you take a hole like this, you go through all of the holes that are in this particular tournament or any tournament. And if you think of like how many people, you've got 3 groups here. We got a birdie group, we got a hole-in-one group, and we've got a par group. What percentage are going to be in there? I think this is going to be a low percentage. This is going to be less than 5%. I mean, for sure. I think this is going to be the big. Obviously, this will be the big number. But I think that there's going to be a good 20%, maybe more, of the people that come to this hole, that are going to end up with a par. And so if you think of all of the holes that are out there, and this is a hole that there's a lot of people that are going to fail on it, and you don't want to be in that group. You can get ahead of 20% of the people in your bracket just by getting a birdie. So you came here with the intent to get a hole-in-one, and you end up with a par. So I want to be in this birdie group. There's a lot of holes in this particular tournament that are like that, where you can get ahead of that's why you're seeing up at the top, you're only seeing a few people in the 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s. There's just like a handful of people at the top of the bracket. And most people are shooting 10 or below, because there's just so many holes. There are opportunities to pick up shots, but there's every hole you have an opportunity to drop something. All of these holes are pretty tricky. On this particular hole, we are not going to worry about tricky. I'm uploading a video in the background, so it may get a little laggy here. Katana and a Guardian. I'm not dicking around with it. Yes, there are a bunch of different ways. I could use my sniper and get up here and be back in the shadows on the drive, but I'm going to get right up next to the green, put maximum backspin on it, and go for a backspin, side spin, curl shot. And I don't have a lot of curl on this, and I don't have a lot of backspin. I think at level 4, it's only got like 70 something backspin. And when you bring out a Guardian and you're looking for backspin, you're really kind of like looking for the 92 or 96 or whatever it gets when it gets. Actually, with the Guardian being able to be upgraded, I'm not sure if when it gets to maxed out, if it's at 100%. I think it does get 100%. Maybe when it gets maxed out. But at level 4, I think it's only got like 70%. Going from the shadows back there is not a bad deal. You can find a spot out there where you can consistently get the roll out to the green and not have to put any curl on it. The key here is not to have to put any curl on it if you're doing the back shot. So you want to get your top spin, side spin stuff right so that it just rolls to the cup every time. Because if you have to put curl on it, you take a big risk of doing that right there when you're hitting it at the shadows. You don't leave enough room for the curl to develop. It's got a lot of backspin, but not as much as I'd like. Okay, and I'm going to be right in that area right there. It's 1.7 per ring, I think. 1.7 per ring leaves me 5, so that's about a third. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. I could put a little team. I can't move the ball to the right anymore because if you go back and watch the video on where that second bounce hit there, then when you start moving the ball in more on the right, I like to be a couple rings of separation. I was inside to that just a little, but I was so far forward, it didn't make that big of a difference. So what I can do is I can take a little bit of the backspin off, and that'll push the ball farther forward in its bounce trajectory, and that'll tighten the distance up to the cup. So I can take off like the last little bar of backspin. And there's one of the 20% right there. So this is a prime example. You just got up on your opponent. So if you were playing match play, or if you were playing like they do in the Ryder Cup, where you're playing against this particular opponent, I just got up on them, and all I had to do was go out there and shoot the minimum, was a birdie. So you start adding those up on every hole, like how many people are going to fail based on the tough, like the 2 par 5, all 3 of the par 5s that are in Southern Pines are pretty tough. And the numbers are going to be high, especially on the first and last one. All right, that was hole number 2. Didn't get the hole in one I was looking for, but I really wasn't trying for hole in one. But right there, I got ahead of a big group of people in my bracket. If you're trying to work yourself up towards the top of the bracket, I mean, every hole that you don't fail on, that's good. All right, that was hole number 2. Southern Pines, hole number 6. Thanks for watching.